and making roasted carrots. I'm addicted to them. People say I'm addicted to them. Greg likes them, Carlos likes them, and they're healthy. I put olive oil in a big Ziploc baggie. I put some of, you can't see that, shit. I put some of my garlic paste in it. I put paprika. And I'm using some powdered Italian dressing in there for seasoning. I usually don't use that, but I'm gonna see how it turns out. So, the next thing I'm gonna do is I've peeled all my carrots, and I'm going to, which I'm not gonna make y'all watch me do all these, but I'm gonna show you kinda how I do it. I cut them down the middle, and then I cut them in like little strips because Greg likes them thin because they kind of get crunchy. And when I'm done with them, cutting them up, I will get my bag and I will throw them in there. And when I get done with that, I will come back and show y'all what I do next. Now that I have them all cut up, I put them in the bag with my olive oil, my garlic, all my other seasonings. You can put any seasoning in here you want. I have put honey in with them. I've even drizzled honey over the top after putting it on my parchment paper on my baking dishes. And it is so good. That homemade garlic paste makes a big difference in stuff if you like garlic. But what'll wind up happening is you can see the juices from the carrots coming to the bottom. And I'll put this in the refrigerator while I prepare everything else because it has to cook in the oven on, I think I put them on 425 because that's as high as I can go with parchment paper for like 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. So they'll get good and done. Greg, like I said, likes them really crispy. And I just make sure every individual one is covered in olive oil and seasoning. And the juices are starting to flow out of them. But I use olive oil. I guess you could use avocado oil because I use that on a lot of stuff. But olive oil is better. Well, I don't think it's better for you, but it has a different taste than avocado oil, and I have different things I use each of them on. So, after I get my parchment paper on my baking dishes, or my baking trays, I will show you how I spread them out so that they cook evenly and crispy. Okay, before I start cooking anything, I'm gonna start preparing my chicken wings. I make my chicken wings in the oven. They're healthier, and I try to do things healthier. And to make them crispy, I mix baking soda and cornstarch. And I put 2 tablespoons of the garlic powder and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch in my bowl. And I think you can see it. And I put salt. I used sea salt, and I used pepper, and I used parsley flakes. You can use garlic or anything like that you want to, but after I bake mine, I'm gonna make a homemade hot sauce for it, which is nothing but butter, honey, and Frank's or Crystal's hot sauce. You can use Tabasco sauce. You can use whatever you want to. My favorite happens to be Crystal. And I might do that on here so you can see. But it's just butter, Crystal hot sauce, and honey and garlic powder. But the first thing you gotta do is you have to take your chicken wings out. And you have to put them on paper towels because they have to be dry. And I used to wash my chicken, but people were like, that's gonna spread bacteria. They don't need washing. They get fixed in the oven. The heat's high enough to kill bacteria. But when I would clean them in the sink, I would then take bleach and bleach my sink out. But people just bitched about it so much that I just stopped. So these are big. I can't buy them at Walmart. Walmart's wings and wings and drumets are entirely too small. We would starve to death. So I'm gonna get them out, I'm gonna line them up, and I'm gonna pat them dry. Wow, these are bigger. Thank you, Jesus. Well, thank you, God. I hate messing with chicken. I usually use gloves and stuff like this, but after I lay them out and get them really dry, I'm gonna put them back in the refrigerator. Well, after I toss them, because the colder they are when you put them in the oven, the better they are. And you start them out at like 200 degrees for 30 minutes, so the fat will render and come to the top, and hold on to the crispy, the stuff that makes it crispy, the Argo and the baking soda. Oh, chicken's so nasty. I just love to cook. I like to try different things. I like healthy food. Greg and I go out once a week, but we don't eat fast food. We never eat fast food in this house. I've never fried foods in this house. We don't eat fried foods either. Now what I have done is I have already lined my baking dishes, and I'm fixing to spray these with a cooking spray so they don't stick too bad. I'm using Crisco butter spray because the only other thing I have is for baking. I don't think y'all can see that. So I'm going to spray it real good just on the top. One. And this is two. Be right back. Okay, my chicken wings are dry. I'm gonna put a couple of them in there at a time. Big ass drumet. I used to put the mixture in a Ziploc bag and would shake them in there, but it coated them too much, and you don't want them coated too much. Well, it don't look like it coated them any more than this. Put them too close together, they're not going to cook as well. But after I do this, they have to sit in the refrigerator for a good while until I get everything ready, because the colder they are, when you put them in that low heat, the fat starts rendering. Some people use tongs to do this, but I just found that hands-on works better for me. And after I put them in the oven for the first 30 minutes, I will jack the heat up to 475, and I will turn them every 20 minutes. Here. I've made room in my refrigerator for them. Keep my radio on all the time in here. And I like different kinds of music. My carrots are in the refrigerator. There we go. Always clean as I go, because when we sit down to eat dinner, all the dishes are done. And usually whenever I cook, I don't clean, but I try to come in here and help. I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator and let them sit, and I'll be back. My oven's hit 200, so I'm gonna take my chicken wings out of the refrigerator and put them in there for 30 minutes. rat's ass. I have my chicken wings on 200 on my top oven, one on the top rack, one on the bottom rack. And now I'm going to put my carrots on my parchment paper. I'm going to use tongs for this because it just works better. And I'll put them in a single layer, well, as single as I can get it. But like I said, the longer these cook, they caramelize. And some of them will get crispy. I made some of them thicker than others. Greg likes them like French fries. I like to do them almost whole sometimes. And the next way I'm going to make these is I'm going to cut them in, the whole carrot I'll cut in half. And I want to wrap it in bacon and smother it in honey. I think those will be really good. I like sweets and savories together. And if I'm gonna do sweets when I'm cooking, I wanna do natural sweets like honey, maple syrup, and things such as that. Brown sugar isn't as natural, but I will do my bacon. I will put brown sugar and maple syrup in a bag like this, and I will cut my bacon up. Well, I'll cut it in half, and I will put it in there and get it all saturated, and then put it on my parchment paper and put it in the oven for about 30 minutes. And oh God, it's so good with homemade biscuits. I like to do that on the weekends. A lot of carrots in here. It's a 2-pound bag I cut up. I can smell that zesty Italian powder. It's Italian dressing powder. And it's got such a good taste to it. See all that juice in there now? And all I started out with was the olive oil, garlic paste. What else? The Italian dressing. I usually put paprika and parsley in it, but I didn't do it this time since I was doing that to the chicken wings. I think I use my what kind of pan do I use? This is the bigger one. Because you don't want them stacked on top of each other. They don't cook as well. Yes. I'm ready for football. My Eagles play Monday, but I'll be damned if Alabama don't play at 11 a.m. Saturday. And I don't care for them that early, but I'll take what I can get. Okay, and those you will want to cook on 425, because parchment paper, you're not supposed to cook anything any higher than 425. And I cook them up to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, just depending. how they look. And I'll be back. Now I'm gonna make my hot sauce to go on my wings. I want to have it ready so when I toss them. And it calls for 1 cup of unsalted butter, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1.5 cups of hot sauce. You can use Frank's Crystals, Tabasco sauce, whatever, like I said. And 1 to 3 teaspoons of honey, which is optional. And you can use cayenne pepper, but I don't like mine that hot. The hot sauce will be enough for me. So it says to heat your butter on a low heat so that it'll be creamy. This right here is the Italian dressing seasoning I use. You can get it in the dressing aisle. And like I said, it's in the powder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gently melt the butter in a medium saucepan over low heat until melted. Using low heat takes longer, but we want it to be creamy. And then it says remove the pan from the heat to prevent sauce from breaking. Then whisk in the garlic powder, hot sauce, until cohesive sauce forms, about 1 minute. Taste, and if you want more hot sauce, you can add more spice or a pinch of cayenne pepper if you want. So, but I think what I'll do is wait till I put my hot sauce in the butter before I put my garlic in there, and I'll whisk it together with honey. My son likes these individual things of honey, so I'm going to use this. And it says, then whisk in the garlic powder and the hot sauce until cohesive sauce forms, about 1 minute. Taste, and then if you want the sauce more spicy, add a pinch more cayenne pepper. Use immediately or store in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. It will harden. Well, shit, I lost my spot. Oh, it will harden, so reheat gently over low heat and whisk or shake if separated. So, let me get that done. Metal on this. So once this melts, I will come back so you can see how I mix it together. Okay, my butter's melted. I'm going to add my garlic, 1 teaspoon. That's what I'm putting in there because I'm not making 2 cups of sauce. And I'm putting in a cup of my hot sauce. Stir until cohesive. Heat off, and I'm gonna add the honey. And I'm gonna put a whole teaspoon. This is a half a teaspoon that I'm using, so I might use a little over a teaspoon. But this is optional, so we'll see. Don't need no more hot stuff in it. A dash more honey. The honey had something good to it. And I'm gonna leave this sit here until I'm ready for it, so that way if it hardens, I can just turn it back on the low. And I'll be back. I just turned my chicken wings up to 475, and I'm gonna put my carrots in because they'll cook about 45 minutes. And in 20 minutes, I will take my chicken wings out and I'll turn them.